course, I can't help but point out that Nancy also mentioned that yoga is her favorite exercise, which of course I tend to agree with. So I hope that's helpful. I know you guys are absorbing all of this information consciously, unconsciously on the deepest level, and I'm excited to add a little more. I am stretching myself here, and I'm going to share some slides with you as we get started. Give me a second. I'm sharing this. Here we go. So, welcome you guys to Transformational Yoga. My name is Jessie Johannick, and I am the Winged Journey Coaching. And I'm so excited to share this with you. Transformational Yoga combines two of my favorite modalities that are near and dear to my heart, that have been literally life-changing. What I'm going to try and do is quickly go through some slide information so you guys can read and see some of the information. And after that, we'll have time to do a little bit of practice together. So what is transformational yoga? It is a practice that is half movement and half transformational neuro-linguistic programming, coaching, education, educating you for self-growth, self-empowerment, and transformation. You are empowered to do the transformation along with the yoga. So you might be asking, I can't see you, but I'm sure that you are asking, why yoga, why neuro-linguistic programming, referred to most often as NLP? Why combine those together? So I'm going to try and share just a taste of the magic of yoga that I have experienced, just a taste of the magic of NLP that I've experienced, and how they work so well together. So I am a full-time care provider, working from home mom. I homeschool. And when my kids were even younger than they are now, they're 5 and 7, I luckily fell into finding a place where I could go and practice yoga and the kids could go and play. A win-win for both of us. If you parent or juggle life balance at all, you know when you stumble your way into a win-win, you're winning. It's fabulous. The kids were happy. I was practicing yoga. Fabulous. Yoga provided me greater balance, flexibility, and strength of not only my body, but also my mind and soul. When I came away from those yoga practices, not only was my body more nourished, but so was my mind and my soul. And then my interest in yoga compounded as my interest in developing and refining my horsemanship skills advanced. And I realized what I was asking my horses to do were very advanced physical movements while maintaining perfect mental and emotional collection, mental and emotional fitness. My horses needed to be perfectly emotionally stable for me to be riding on their back doing these super advanced movements. I was asking this of my horses. I had absolutely no ability to offer it to them. Not only did I not have the balance, the flexibility, the strength to help them on their back doing those physical movements, I did not have the mental or emotional fitness and collection to support them in what I was trying to do with them. So I would love if anybody out there has done yoga, if you have a yoga practice, if you've ever tried yoga, if you're interested in yoga, I would so love to see your contributions into the chat if you feel so inclined. Why do you do yoga? What draws you to yoga? Do you have any favorite poses, asanas, or types of yoga that you like to practice? Type it into the chat. After the presentation, I'll have more time to look at the questions. And what are your favorite benefits of yoga? What do you see as the best benefits of yoga? I'd love to hear and read what you guys have to say about that. Just a couple more quick, fabulous morsels about yoga here. Yoga asana, or the poses, I'm going to read these guys to you. So please don't feel like you have to rush and read. and tune me out. I'm going to review these slides. I put these up so that I know it's easier sometimes to have something to look at as well as to hear what's being said. So the yoga asanas, the poses, how are these come up? What are they meant to do for us? The ancient sages studied the qualities of all beings, plants, animals, humans, and landscapes to learn their nature. What was in their nature? What do they have to give and offer? How can we improve by taking on and understanding their nature? The sages molded their bodies after them to take on these values and skills of each of these beings. Yoga, literally translated, means union. Yoga is the union of body with the mind, bringing the body and the mind together in the same place. And the union of the mind and the soul. So bringing the mind and the soul and the body all together to the same place at the same time, finding that alignment and harmony, congruence inside and out. Cool. So how do we do that? How does that happen? When the body and the mind are brought together into union with one another, the energy of the mind becomes still. Imagine that, a still mind, if you will. And when the mind is still, the soul pervades the entire body. So how does this work? How do we do this? This is a very simple graphic. You guys don't need this. I'm sure you're all understanding and following perfectly. This is just a helpful visual. So if you think about bringing your mind and body together, we're going to start at the bottom of the graphic here. How do you bring your mind and body together? What does that mean? So if you think about when your body is doing something, when you are moving, behaving, acting, speaking, is your mind in the same place in agreement with your body? Are you thinking positive things about what you're doing with your body, what you're saying, the actions you're taking? When your mind and your body are together in the present moment, it's the only moment we have, right? The present moment. When we bring our mind and body together into the present moment, the mind isn't in the past. It isn't in the future. We're not, the mind isn't dragging stuff from all over the place onto the yoga mat or into the present moment. When the mind can be still and the body are together in the present moment, that would be bringing the mind and body into union. When you can do that and the mind can become still, that is when the soul can pervade the whole body. When the mind and the body are in union and the mind becomes quiet and happy and harmonious in that moment, then there's room for the soul to come in. And if you look at the top of the screen, that's when we are really touching on harmony and alignment. So when the mind and the body are brought into union and the mind is stilled, the soul pervades the entire body. The soul, the spirit, however that term works best for you and your belief system, can pervade the body. And when we say soul or spirit in transformational yoga, I can be referring to our purpose, our inspiration, our connection to all things. I'm letting my cat in the room. She wants to participate so she doesn't continue scratching on the door and making noise for you guys. Our connection to all things. That is what happens when we're in connection with spirit and soul. My cat jumped to the screen for me, so thank you. We'll move on to mind now. Okay, now when we talk about stilling the mind so that we can come into that alignment and harmony, this is where my second modality comes in that is so near and dear to me. Neuro-linguistic programming empowers us to better understand and clean the conduit of the mind, to more easily and often bring the body, mind, and soul into alignment and harmony. So NLP is a tool to familiarize students and clients of NLP with their mind. How are we creating the behaviors that we are creating? How are we creating the patterns that we are having? When we're empowered to understand how we're doing something, then we can direct that, right? When we understand how it's happening, we can be at cause to direct that. That is what NLP helps us do in this equation. And in transformational yoga, how do we use the body to come into this harmony and alignment? Through asana, yoga poses, and through the breath is so important. Asana and breath are used to understand and take on the nature of the world around us. So I'm going to introduce to you one tool, a resource that we use in NLP, and invite you to take part in it. And then we're going to move on to doing some very simple yoga poses together. So in NLP, we often use something called an outcome. It's a tool to help clarify what you want, capturing the motivational power of moving towards what you want, rather than simply moving away from what you don't want. This is so powerful to clarify, what am I moving towards? That motivation is exponentially more powerful than telling yourself simply what you're trying to move away from. So if you guys feel so inclined, I would invite you to either think about or write down a transformational yoga state of mind that you would like to set as an outcome for the practice we'll have here for the rest of the day, for any time you do yoga, or any time in your life you want to have these resources available. So think about what you would like to have and state it positively. So for example, relaxation, focus, resourcefulness. These are all stated positively. An example of not stating something positively would be, I don't want to be anxious. Okay, well, you've clarified then one thing you don't want, but that leaves about 100 million other things you could be trying to move towards. It's much more powerful to move towards. Be at cause when you think of an outcome. And guys, you can use these outcomes in any area of life. It's not just transformational yoga. Be at cause. You are empowered to create this, to move, to take the steps towards this outcome. Have it be ecological. It's good for you and it's good for those around you. For example, when I'm playing with my horses, it would not be ecological for me to set an outcome of being completely fearless. Fear is a tool in that setting. If my horse does something that I become fearful for, that is a communication I need and must respond to. So think of something that's ecological. It's good for you in every situation and setting and those around you. Another really powerful part of outcomes is be specific. When you set this outcome, let's say relaxed resourcefulness. How do I feel in my body when I am relaxed and resourceful? Where do I feel it in my body? Does it have a temperature? Does it have a color? What do I see around me? What do I see in my mind when I'm relaxed and resourceful? What do I hear? What am I telling myself when I'm relaxed and resourceful? I would love so much for you guys to type any of those into the chat, and I can read them when I close my screen share momentarily here. And last, before we do our practice together, you guys all know this. You are the best advocate for your own body. You know yourself better than any other practitioner, yoga instructor, better than anybody else can, because I can't see you. I don't know what might be hurting today, what might be stiff today, any previous conditions. You guys take care of yourselves, be your own advocate, do what feels good to your body. So everybody together, by participating in yoga instruction online, I agree that I am assuming all risk of personal injury and responsibility for maintaining my own bodily safety and health. And that's it for our slides. I thank you guys so much for hanging with me on this journey of the slides. Please come and see me at the booth if you need any more of this information I have up on the screen. I would love to chat with you more.